The text said K. Just K lowercase, no period, sent at 2:47 in the afternoon. Alan scrolled up through the chat, looking for the moment he must have ruined. He landed on a joke he'd made on Saturday. Too soft probably, or maybe too much. He locked his phone. He unlocked it. He read K again. In the bathroom mirror, he leaned in to look at a stain on his collar and muttered "idiot" under his breath. He said it gently. He had been saying it to himself for so long that he didn't hear it anymore. That night he lay on the couch with his phone face down on his chest. The dishes from Tuesday were still in the sink. The window was open. He realized he was exhausted from people. He hadn't really spoken to anyone all day. 2 days later, on the bus home, he found the book on the seat beside him. It was a small paperback, the spine creased white, the cover faded by years of pockets and shelves. Inside the front cover, in pencil, "For Diane, from your mother, Christmas 1998. The pages were marked up in 2 different handwritings, one in pen, one in fading pencil, as if it had been read twice across decades. Page 47 was warped, as if water had touched it once. Alan almost left it for the next passenger. Instead, he slid it into his jacket and carried it home. He started noticing what he said about himself. Not the loud thoughts, the small ones. The idiot when he dropped his keys. Of course, when the bus pulled away without him. He counted them in a single morning and stopped at 23. He wondered who had first taught him to speak to himself this way. He couldn't remember. The voice felt older than he was. That night, when he stubbed his toe on the bed frame, he caught the word in his mouth before it left. He just held it there. Then he let it dissolve, unsaid. The next week, his co-worker barely looked at him in the morning. Alan spent an hour cataloguing what he might have done wrong. He revised an email 3 times. He rehearsed an apology he didn't owe. Then, at the coffee machine, he overheard her on the phone. Her father had been moved to hospice on Sunday. He stood with his empty cup and understood for the first time that the silence had never been about him at all. Most silences weren't. He looked at the K text again. He had been carrying it for 11 days. He typed, "Hey, everything good with us?" His friend wrote back in 2 minutes. He had been driving. He had meant, "Yeah, sounds good." Alan stared at the ceiling for a long time after that, thinking about how many ghosts he had built out of single letters. He had a bad Wednesday. Slept poorly. Got nothing done at work. Came home with takeout and a low feeling pressed against his ribs. The old version of him would have spent the night ranking himself against everyone he knew. Instead, he washed 1 plate. Just 1. He left the rest. He decided that 1 plate on a Wednesday like this one was enough. He went to bed without a verdict. A month in, almost nothing about Alan's life had changed. The dishes still piled. The kitchen still small. The K texts still came, and his stomach still dropped when they did. But one Saturday afternoon he passed his reflection in the hallway mirror and didn't flinch. He stopped. He looked. He said nothing. Just looked at the man in the glass, tired, ordinary, a stain on a different collar this time, and let him stand there without commentary. Then he kept walking. That night he texted his friend first for no reason. He wrote, "Thinking of you." He didn't rewrite it 5 times, he just sent it. The reply came back a minute later. A heart and then, "Same." Alan put his phone down and listened to the sound of his apartment. He had been speaking to himself like a stranger for most of his life. He was learning slowly to use kinder words,